from the City of Marinette Fire Department. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
Yes, I'm doing great. Is it still foggy
A little
outside?
bit, not too bad.
Not
It's
too
getting
bad.
better.
When I came in this morning, it was just awful. I mean, you couldn't even see anything. It was horrible.
Yeah, it was pretty soupy.
It was. It was. So, today, I thought maybe we should talk about fire safety. And, it's that time of year where people are burning, they're getting their burn barrels or their rings out. And, what kind of safety precautions should they be taking?
So, first of all, in the city of Marinette, there are no burn barrels allowed. So you can't
Oh,
burn garbage, you can't burn yard waste, anything like that. You can have a recreational fire pit by permit. There's a city ordinance that pertains to that. That we have the permits at the fire station. You can stop down there. They're $10. It's an annual permit. Allows you to have your a recreational fire in your backyard. There are some guidelines that you have to follow. Basically, our big one is 15 feet from anything that's combustible, and that's around and above. And again, it's clean wood. If you want cook over it and eat over it, you're not supposed to burn it in a fire pit. Which leads to an interesting situation we had. We had some we get questions on pallets all the time,
oh yeah.
and actually had one gentleman that he enlightened me on the subject, and we got me down the wormhole of looking into pallets and the treatments of pallets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're going to burn a pallet, it has to be stamped that it's like pesticide free. It can't be treated.
Oh.
So basically food grade. But to avoid that, I would not burn pallets.
Yeah.
So just clean wood.
Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense, especially with the pallets. You would have to break them down too to burn them. You're
Yep.
not just going to throw it on top of the fire.
Yeah,
That would be,
anything you burn has to fit in the fire pit.
yeah.
So anything like leaves, any kind of yard debris,
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be taken to the city dump
Dump.
and deposited there.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that. I mean, I'll admit that we have done that. We've thrown our leaves in the fire because, hey, that's how I grew up. Grew up in the woods, so we would just burn our leaves. But that's interesting that you
And
can't.
that is pretty common. It's a
Okay.
common complaint. It is illegal.
Okay.
So
Why is that?
it just creates, because leaves and green branches and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that create such a smoke
Oh, that makes sense.
that
Yeah.
it affects the neighbors, affects the
Yeah.
neighborhood, stuff like
Okay.
that. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I learned something today.
um,
What else should they be like barbecues and everything else? What should they be watching out
so
for?
barbecues, keep them a safe distance away from your structure.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, a lot of people will, if it's raining outside, they'll pull them into their garages and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Be mindful, make sure that you have good ventilation. Again, it's a heat source, so keep it away from anything combustible. For folks that live in apartments and condominiums, stuff like that, there are no barbecue grills allowed above ground level, so you can't have a deck and have a grill
Mm-hmm.
on it, and that goes where, regardless of the heat source.
Right.
There's no grills
Mm-hmm.
above the ground level.
Right. Yeah, you got to go out into the parking lot. Um,
Unfortunately, but
yeah. But
that's because something down the road, something bad has happened.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, what about kids and fire? I mean, sometimes they get a little start exploring with it, and this time of year, the ring fires are going. Maybe they're picking up early fireworks, or what can we do to prevent that?
so when you have your recreational fire, it should be, and you have children around, it should always be supervised. The burn permit rules also state that no one under 18 years of age can have a fire, so they have to have an adult present. A good rule of thumb is, and I know we always practice it when we're camping, that when you sit around the fire ring, if you have kids around and they have to move from, I don't know, parent to parent or whatever, they have to. It's behind the chairs.
Yeah,
Nothing around the ring.
that
So
makes sense.
use that when you have your recreational fire. If you're going to light it and the kids are present, use it as a teachable moment to show them how to do it safely. You know, we're not going to dump gas on it and then light the fire, because that leads to bad things happening.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Some others, you know, when we go into the schools and we do our fire safety talks, one thing we always talk around children is because children are curious.
Oh, yeah.
If they
I used to play
see
with
something, there you go, see something laying around, chances are they're going to explore it. So
Oh, yeah.
keep your matches and lighters out of reach of of kids,
Yeah.
of the children. And like I said, you know, it's a teachable moment. You have to. They're like, we always tell them it's a tool. It's a tool
Oh,
for
yeah.
doing work.
Exactly.
So teach them how to use that tool properly.
Yeah, don't be like me. I would sit on the couch and light matches and throw them in the corner of the living room and hide them. Yeah, I could have burned the house down.
Yep. Yeah, very easily.
Very easily.
Especially now, something like that with the materials that are in
Yeah.
homes
Oh my gosh.
are quite a bit more combustible. So a lot more items are petroleum based. So basically, if you look around your home, I mean, you've got solid gasoline everywhere.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
So
what do I think about that? Golly. Anything more on safety?
fireworks season coming up.
Yeah.
Again, you have to do those safely. You have
Yes.
to do them legally. You know, the
They're
city
scary.
ordinance says nothing can leave the ground. That's actually a state
State
law.
law.
Just supervision.
Yes. That's important. Very much so.
Mindful of what you're doing, mindful of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Be courteous to your neighbors.
Yeah, definitely. Because not everybody likes or does fireworks or, you know, what we're talking about today. They just they're quiet and they're, you know, just chilling.
You know, and you know, part of where the complaints come in is, you know, 4th of July seems to start like mid-June and go till like the end of July for sure.
Sometimes in August.
Yeah, and that can create problems.
Oh, yeah. But what are you going to do?
Be smart, be safe.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming in. Haven't seen you in a while. Seen you at some meetings.
Yeah, been busy.
I know you are. You're very busy. We're all busy. All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy your summer.
Oh, I'm going to try to. All right. Well, thank you. And all of our Facebook watchers and listeners, you all have a great day. We'll see